Hi, I am here, July 2023, and I want to talk about starting my journey with arts again. Because arts has always been a part of my life. I've always loved arts. I'm making it, that is. But this was the first year in a long time since I was young. Well, I'm technically young, but I don't feel young. Um, this is the first time in a long time that I'm getting back into making art, drawing every day, almost every day. A lot. It's the most consistent thing I've been doing these days, in my very inconsistent, adrift, adrift life, pretty much. So yeah. I guess I wanted to make this first video just to remind myself of where I am right now, in the beginning of my art journey and my relationship with art, over the years. So I guess the story really starts when I was in elementary school, middle school. I don't know. I was a quiet kid, and as most quiet kids are, I was into reading and drawing. I was in my own world pretty much. I spent a lot of time by myself, and we didn't have electronics in our house really. We had a computer, a desktop computer where everybody could see what you're doing, and that was fun. I went on there a lot with my siblings. You could probably hear them right now, my brother. One part of my life was reading, but the other part was drawing. I used to draw all the time, to the point where like other kids identified me as like the artist, like the smart, not that I was like a edgy person, but like a lot of people find a quiet people very unnerving. I don't know, people were scared of me even because I was so quiet. But I was a quiet kid, just drawing all the time, doodling somewhere and everywhere. And I would love my art classes. Oh my god, they were so fun. So yeah, that was really my life for the most parts. Just drawing and reading until middle school. Middle school is where I took art a bit more seriously, where I joined a club. I even had like a lesson plan. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I want to master oil painting 9th grade. I want to master whatever the hell, ceramics 10th grade, blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm gonna be a master of all crafts. Okay, like that's really was my goal. Because I'm one, like I have all these labels. I would consider myself a reader, like an art. When I was younger, I used to consider myself an artist, but my overall biggest label I have for myself, which I don't even want the effing label, but it's who I am, is that I'm a person who gets really attached, like I'm obsessed with one thing, and then if it's not perfect, I just can't deal with it anymore. Like, I don't want it in my life. I want to like shove it in some closet and never open it up, never even go near that closet ever again. I'm just a person who takes things very seriously, and if things don't work out, like, I'm devastated. And I'm realizing it's like an emotional response right now, but always at the time I logic myself into that decision. Like, I don't know, I don't even remember the logical arguments. I just know this about myself, that at the time I think of myself as a very rational person. Like, I'm making these decisions because those are the facts of the situation, and I'm just going with the facts. But I'm not. I'm just scared of failing. I hate failing so much, which is crazy because I'm a loser. Like, I really am a loser. And I'm going on a side tangent. Where was I? Okay, middle school. Anyway, this was before I hit my brick wall. So what really made me hit my brick wall in middle school and just stop drawing, even though I was so into art, especially beginning of middle school, I remember I spent hours in my bedroom drawing this. It was like, it was one music video where Brendan Urie was in a clown makeup. I was determined to get that accurately. Like, I was drawing for hours with my colored pencils. Whew. I mean, I remember it turned out well. I wish I could find it or something. But yeah, I just had so much stuff fun. It wasn't even fun. It's just something that I did and it felt right. You know? Like, I was very irritated in that process. I remember like erasing so much and I'm like, I don't like this. Or no, I was ripping things up. Definitely. Trying to get it perfect. And it was not a fun process, but I felt so good about it afterwards. It makes me smile thinking about it. I was so into art. I was taking art. So back to middle school again. I was taking we had to take art classes because there were requirements, but the way I got to even do more art was joining an art club, and that was the beginning of the end for me, because I already had these irritations just by myself, that I was not at the skill level that I want to be at, like what I wanted to put on the page and where my skills were there was a big difference between the two. Like I knew what I wanted to be, like what kind of art I would be making, the level of detail I want, and then I would be very irritated with what I had the ability of doing right then, which was not that good. You know, back then I really wanted to draw realistically, and whenever I tried, it turned out like shit. It was not good. It wasn't bad. It really, really was not bad. But because it wasn't exactly what I wanted to be, I was pissed already. But then joining the art club really was the beginning of the end for me, because I got to see what other people my age could do, and a lot of them were better than me. A lot of them were better than me. Which was irritating, because I was always known as the person, I mean, these stupid labels when you're a kid, you get so attached to them, and I would just deflated. I was like, my ego was very deflated after that. Like, I always considered myself an artiste, but look at these other kids my age, they're way better than me. So yeah, that really was the beginning of middle school is where I started to like drawing a bit less, because I put pressure on myself to try to improve all the time, and like I wasn't getting at the level of skill that I desired. Second, kids my age were doing way better, like were making way better pieces than me. They were better at drawing, they were better at painting, they were better at everything, art, creative stuff, you know. The third factor in middle school that really like was where I escaped, really, instead of feeling bad about my art skills and, you know, embarrassed that I wasn't improving as quickly as I wanted to. How I escaped was I got a phone when I was in 7th grade, and then all that time I spent reading, drawing, really just in my own world, expressing myself, showing myself to the world, and even like trying to have others understand me through my drawings and the books that I read. All that kind of stopped. Getting a phone was really, you know, the end of my art journey, in a lot of ways. I watched a lot of YouTube videos starting in 8th grade, a lot of Netflix, which is great because I got to find media that I really connected with. But on the other hand, I stopped really expressing myself. I just went into this like super, logical self. Like I mean, I was always a good student, but in high school I excelled. I did really great. I got the grades that I wanted. I always thought I was gonna have a super technical life, like something very sciencey, something very engineering, which was weird because when I found myself after not drawing for years, after I did take art classes because I had a part of myself that's like, yeah, you're an artist, you should take art classes. And I loved the people. Like, the people in my art classes were the greatest people ever, because in high school you get to, arts was an extracurricular, well, not an extracurricular, it's like a secondary class. I forgot what you called them, but you got to pick. It's an elective class. You got to pick whatever you wanted. Like, there was music classes, there was other art classes, there was something other, there was music classes, there were art classes, there was other things. I think there was a cooking class or something. I don't know, never took them. I was not interested. But yeah, the people that I met in my art class are amazing. They were really fun. I really liked them. I liked the environments. I liked the passion people felt. And I even drew in those classes because they were part of my assignments. I needed to do them to get the A that I really wanted. But drawing and making things really took a back. I was shedding this label that I had for myself, the label of artist, because I was not the best, to be honest. And if I was not going to be the best at it, I'm like, who cares? I never really took art seriously again until I would say my senior year, where I had a lot more time on my hands, a lot more time in the fall, and then a lot of time that I was not expecting in the spring because COVID hits. We were all online, and I had a lot of time to draw. So I wanted to start an art Instagram, which I did start in the beginning, at the end of middle school, but I never really kept up with it. So I rebooted that Instagram, started to post a little more, and found enjoyment in that for a little bit. But of course, I gave up. I did want to draw. I was just not good, and I was irritated at myself for not being good. It's so embarrassing, really, now thinking about it. I stopped something that I liked doing because I wasn't good. And it wasn't until last year that I really came to that realization that I quit a lot. I quit not because it makes sense, kind of. It makes sense. Like, there's always something better to do with your time, I guess. But if I keep on thinking like that, it has made me unhappy in the past, and it's gonna make me unhappy in the future. Yeah, sure, there's probably better things to do with my time. I don't want to be negative about my art, but I don't know if I'll be world famous. Am I gonna be John Singer? What's his name? I don't know. It was really embarrassing to me that I just gave up a lot of the time. And I guess it's not too late for me because I'm only in my early 20s. And I guess it's good that I realized that about myself. Because I don't want to quit I mean, obviously I'm okay with quitting things that don't make sense, that I hate, that is just that I hate, really. I know I have to quit things that I hate. But I don't want to quit things that are just hard. Because that's the easy way out. And that's what I realized last year. Last year was a good year for me, honestly. I picked up drawing again, just for fun. I should be kind of truthful and say, like, I've never stopped drawing. I would always like doodle, like, on the sides of my homework pages. Like, I never lost my love of just making small doodles, drawing, of just expressing myself in little ways. But I never took it seriously. I never sat down to draw. Really, for the majority of college and all of high school, pretty much. But it never left me. It never left me. After I realized what I was doing to myself, because it was to myself, I was abusing myself by giving up on something that I like because I'm not the best, made me want to pick up drawing again. So I did. I've been drawing a little bit. I really became consistent this year, a lot more consistent, like almost every day. But even last year, it just helped drawing, setting like 1 hour of time a week to drawing. And I've been proud of myself. I've been really proud of myself that I've carved out time in my day to get to make an image that expresses how I feel about the day or something that I'm interested in. Feel connected. I feel like I'm in a meditative state that I forgot that I love. Like, I used to draw for hours when I was young, just in my own world. I feel so good that now as an adult I could get to that mind space again where I'm with me. And that's what drawing really helps me. That's what I love about drawing. I've connected to a part of myself that I haven't really connected to for a really, really, really long time. I've been pretty consistent most of the year. Very consistent since school closed in like May. Yeah, since the end of the semester in May. So it's been 2 months of drawing and painting, mostly painting. I've been in a painting mood. I try to force myself to just draw for 10 minutes, and a few days it's only those 10 minutes. But most of the time, I would be very consumed with the paintbrush and the page, the pencil with the page, whatever, and I get sucked into what I'm making, and it's been amazing. I love it. And while it has been good just drawing what I want, I still have this nagging feeling that I've been running away from for a very, very, very long time. I want to get to a skill level that I'm proud of. It's not that I know exactly what the skill level is. Like, do I want to draw realistically like I wanted to when I was younger? No. But am I at the skill level that I'm happy with right now? Also no. So, what I'm gonna do is try to improve. I'm gonna try to create a lesson plan each month. I'm gonna do it by a monthly basis instead of like a year-long thing. Because a year sounds very long to me and kind of scary, saying I have a year goal, blah blah blah, terrifying. I'm very into short commitments, so I'm gonna do it on a monthly basis. I'm gonna have 2 or 3 artistic goals for the month, and I'm gonna try to achieve them and slowly build up my skills as an artist. This is the reason why I'm talking to this right now. I want to document my whole process. Mostly because I don't want to give up again after out of frustration. Because I know at some points, like right now, I'm all like, yay, I'm so excited to improve. But I know down the line, it's going to get very difficult. I'm going to find a concept that is very hard, probably perspective, because I do not, spatial reasoning is something I do not have. I don't think so. I know when I get to that part, I'm going to be very frustrated. And I want some kind of documentation that all my efforts are not for nothing, that I'm actually improving, and that I spend my days well. I mean, obviously, just in this aspect of my life. So yeah, that is my goal. Every month, it's July right now, it's July 4th, Independence Day. Every month, I'm going to have just a couple artistic goals for myself. And throughout the month, I'm going to try to achieve them. And I'm going to record it. I'm going to have a monthly reflection about what I've done and what I've learned. And hopefully, by documenting this whole thing, it deters me from giving up. Because I see myself improving little by little. For the month of July, what I've decided to do in the month of July is first line work. I want to work on my lines a lot because that's the thing that I'm dreading the most. Is something that, one, I'm just less interested in lines for some reason, because I love color, I love shading. Those two are my favorites, but I want to hold off on them because the fundamental thing about all of art is that it's just, the world is made up of lines. Why am I scared of lines? I don't know. So what I want to do is just work on the lines of objects. No shading, no coloring, no nothing. Just work on my line work. And then I also want to copy some artists that I like. Just so I can understand what exactly I like about my favorite artist, and if I could incorporate that into my skill sets, That is what I want to do in July. Do I want to get more specific? I don't think so. As long as I spend my 30 minutes that I dedicate each day to drawing on those, I could paint after that. I could do things that I actually like, which is work with color. But the fundamental thing that I want to do every day is line work and copying good art. And if I have more time in the day, then I could do more creative things that I like doing. But that is my goal for the month of July. Hopefully I get far this month. We'll see.